Hello learners, I am Dr. Manish Kumar Bhardwaj from School of Engineering and Technology of IGNOU. Today we will be discussing accidents in construction industry. What we will be covering in this lecture, these are accident causation theories and second one, techniques for accident prevention. The learning outcomes of this lecture are that after going through this lecture, you should be able to explain the accidents causation theories and techniques of accident prevention with their benefits. Now, let us begin with the accident causation theories. There are different theories. These theories are, first one, the domino theory, second one, multiple causation theory, third one is the pure chance theory, third is biased liability theory, next is accident proneness theory, another theory is the energy transfer theory, and the last one is the symptoms versus causes theory. So, we will discuss these theories one by one. Let us begin with first the domino theory. According to W.H. Henrich, who developed the so called domino theory, 88% of all the accidents are caused by unsafe acts of people, 10% are caused by unsafe actions and 2% by acts of God, where you say that you are not having any control. Some accidents which are not finding any reason, visibly any reason, that we categorize as acts of God. So, this is the distribution of all the accidents. Just to repeat it, that 88% are caused by unsafe acts of people. Mind it. So, this is very important that major chunk of these accidents are caused by the unsafe acts of the people and 10% by unsafe actions. So, that way 98% are caused by either by the unsafe acts of people or unsafe actions. Henrich proposed a 5-factor accident sequence in which each factor would actuate the next step in the manner of toppling dominoes lined up in a row. Means first one will be actuating the second one. If second one is there, then it will be actuating the third one. If third one happens, then it will actuate the fourth one, and finally the fourth one will actuate the last one, the fifth one. The sequence of accident factors is like that: ancestry and social environment. Means there are things which are coming into the work nature of the employees due to the practices that were followed by their ancestors and by the social environment. Then second one is workers their own fault. Workers are doing something faulty at the work site. Then third one is unsafe act together with mechanical and physical hazard. That employees are doing something which is unsafe and there may be some mechanical and physical hazards also there. Then this will actuate or this will cause the accident. Then what will result into this? It will result into damage or injury. So, this is the sequence of the accident factors, that what happens first, what happens next, what happens next. Here you see this through a schematic. First one is ancestry and social environment, then it will actuate the fault of a person, then the fault of the person will cause some unsafe act and this unsafe act will cause accident and accident will cause injury. So, in the same way, the removal of a single domino in the row would interrupt the sequence of toppling. Means you see that there is a sequence. So, if you remove any domino from this sequence, then you can avoid the accident. Henrich suggested that removal of one of the factors would prevent the accident and resultant injury, with the key domino to be removed from the sequence being number 3. Here you look at Which one is the number 3? That is unsafe act. From top, if you look at, the number 3 is unsafe act. So if you remove this domino from this sequence, means the person is not doing anything unsafe. No unsafe act is being done there. So there you can avoid accident and thereby injury to the employee. Although Henrik provided no data for his theory, it nonetheless represents a useful point to start discussion and a foundation for future research. So it means his work was very important, and based on his work there was lot of research and lot many theories for that accident causation. Now we move to the second theory, that is multiple causation theory. Multiple causation theory is an outgrowth of the domino theory. As I told you that based on the domino theory, lot many research were done. So here you find this multiple causation theory as an outgrowth of the domino theory, but it postulates that for a single accident there may be many contributing factors, causes and sub-causes, and that certain combinations of these causes give rise to the accident. According to this theory, the contributory factors can be grouped into two categories. What are these categories? First one is behavioral and second one is environmental. Let us talk about first behavioral. This category includes factors pertaining to the worker such as improper attitude, lack of knowledge, lack of skills and inadequate physical and mental condition. So these all factors we keep in the behavioral category that may be responsible for unsafe act and accident. Now we come to the second category, that is environmental factors. This category includes improper guarding of other hazardous work elements and degradation of equipment through use and unsafe procedures. The major contribution of this theory is to bring out the fact that rarely, if ever, is an accident the result of a single cause or act. Means no single cause is responsible for an accident. There are many causes, more than one causes, combination of these different causes which lead to some accident. Now we move to the next theory. It is the pure chance theory. According to the pure chance theory, every one of any given set of workers has an equal chance of being involved in an accident. It further implies that there is no single discernible pattern of events that leads to an accident. In this theory, all accidents are treated as corresponding to Henrik's act of God, and it is held that there exists no intervention to prevent them. So that way its name is pure chance theory. Means it is not holding responsible the behavior or environment for the cause of accident. It is saying that all accidents are because of the act of God. Another theory is biased liability theory. Biased liability theory is based on the view that once a worker is involved in an accident, the chances of the same worker becoming involved in future accidents are either increased or decreased as compared to the rest of the workers. This theory contributes very little towards developing preventive actions for avoiding accidents. So it is not having that way much worth. The next theory is accident proneness theory. Accident proneness theory maintains that within a given set of workers, there exists a subset of workers who are more liable to be involved in accidents. Researchers have not been able to prove this theory conclusively because most of the research work has been poorly conducted and most of the findings are contradictory and inconclusive. This theory is not generally accepted. It is felt that if indeed this theory is supported by any empirical evidence at all, it probably accounts for only a very low proportion of accidents without any statistical significance. Next is the energy transfer theory. Those who accept the energy transfer theory put forward the claim that a worker incurs injury or equipment suffers damage through a change of energy. Means due to the change of energy some accidents are occurring, and that for every change of energy there is a source, a path and a receiver. Three things are there: a source, a receiver and between them a path. Then only that energy transfer will happen. This theory is useful for determining injury causation and evaluating energy hazards and control methodology. Strategies can be developed which are either preventive and limiting with respect to the energy transfer. Control of energy transfer at the source can be achieved by the following means. First, elimination of the source means you eliminate the source of the energy. The changes made to the design or specification of elements of the workstation means at work site you make changes either in the design or in specifications of some elements which may be the cause of the accident. Then preventive maintenance. By doing preventive maintenance you can control the source of the energy. Means if you are doing the preventive maintenance, then there are chances, less chances of any accident to happen. Then the path of energy transfer can be modified by doing the following things. What are these? Enclosure of the path means the path through which the energy is to be transferred, then enclose that path. Then installation of barriers means at the work site you install barriers so that there are less chances of accidents. Then installation of absorbers means the things or the devices which will absorb the energy, means instead of causing accident that energy will be absorbed before that incident. Then positioning of isolators, the devices which can isolate that energy. So these are the ways how we can modify the path of the energy transfer. So by doing so we can limit or reduce the chances of accidents. Then the receiver of energy transfer can be assisted by adopting the following measures. What are these? Means if you are not able to control the source, then even the path is not modified, finally the energy is reaching to the receiver. But here something can be done to minimize the accident and its results. Means the limitation of exposure, means you limit the exposure of the receiver of that energy. Receiver of the energy should not be exposed too much, so there will be less damage. Then use of personal protective equipment. There are many personal protective equipments and gears. If workers are wearing those personal protective equipments, then that accident that is going to happen, that will not cause much damage. It will reduce the amount of damage or the injury. Now the last one is the symptoms versus causes theory. Usually when investigating accidents, we tend to fasten upon the obvious causes of the accident to the neglect of the root cause. Means we are searching for causes instead of looking for the root cause. Unsafe acts and the unsafe conditions are the symptoms, the proximate causes, and not the root cause of the accidents. So we have to look for the root cause of accidents. Now let's move to the accident prevention techniques. What we can do so that we can prevent or avoid the accidents. So these are framing the right safety policy and making routine safety inspections is important to prevent accidents during construction, but is not the end of it. Means you have to prepare a right safety policy and also routine safety inspections in the organization at the work site. But this is not the only thing that will ensure the safety at the work site. Managing the health and safety of all, which may include a passerby even in the construction area, through a proper system in place that complies with the legal requirements too, will actually benefit the organization. Means it is not only the safety of the workers or the work site, we have to worry for the safety of the passerbys. The probability of accidents will be greatly reduced if 7 basic principles are followed while framing the health and safety management system of the organization in the construction industry. What are these? These are: first, eliminate the root cause of hazard at design stage. Means it is not the thing that accidents will happen at the time of construction only, at the work site only, and you can control them or you can prevent them by doing some intervention at the work site after start of construction. The safety measures have to be started since or with the very beginning at the design stage also. What we can do? The best way to avoid accidents is to remove the possible sources during the planning itself. When we are planning the project, what is to be done, how it is to be done, at that stage we can make proper arrangements, we can plan properly to avoid accidents. Depending upon workmen and supervisors to carry out an activity, maintaining all safety aspects is leaving the door open for accidents to happen. Means you should not just leave that, it has to be done at the site, and workmen and supervisors are only the people who will take care of that. If you are doing that, then certainly you are inviting the accidents to happen. Examples: when new construction is being done by demolishing a previous structure in a highly populated area, it is possible that underground live electrical lines are present on the site, which may cause fatal injuries if excavation is done without exact knowledge. So this needs to be taken care at the design stage, specifying the exact hazard spots identified from previous site plans. So that can be done at the design stage. Then bamboo scaffoldings are prone to human error of improper tying or using tying ropes liable to fail. If the design itself specifies metal scaffolding with double guardrail, the risk of working at heights is greatly reduced. Then next is remove the hazard at source. Even if the hazard is not eliminated at the design stage, suitable planning before the construction starts can substantially reduce potential causes of accidents. For example, in a site where materials are to be taken uphill, but proper roads are absent, or a small trench is to be crossed, it will be worthwhile in terms of safety and cost to the organization to build a road first, or a suitable bridge over the trench, or better still a conveyor to carry the material uphill, depending on the distance and the cost involved. For short uphill distance, and a huge construction project, a conveyor will be beneficial in all aspects of health, safety and cost. The next factor is that attach due importance to ergonomics. Often more emphasis is laid on designing the work area to suit material movement rather than ease of working for the persons. Providing ergonomics method for workmen is beneficial to their long-term health and reduce risk of accidents. For example, providing brick and mortar on a platform of suitable height to the workman constructing a wall eliminates the need to bend his back every time to pick up a brick. This reduces his fatigue and allows him to work longer in a day and throughout his working life. So that way you can make an arrangement that worker is doing as per the ergonomics. The next factor is adapting technology. Use of existing mechanization processes or adapting to newer improved technology benefits the organization both in terms of cost and safety. For example, employing a simple pulley mechanism to lift materials for construction of higher floors in a building instead of workmen carrying them physically up the stairs saves time, money and reduces risk of accidents to the workman. Buying a less noisy model of a machine during replacement or fresh purchase reduces the noise pollution for all concerned, because noise pollution is also a hazard. The next factor is secure work area to ensure safety. Personal protective equipment can never be the end all in safety. Means these PPE can not ensure the full safety. PPE can be a protective measure to reduce the impact of an accident. To ensure all round safety to all concerned, securing the work area from all possible hazard is the only way. So to you secure the area from all possible hazards so that all are safe, workers as well as the passerbys. For example, extensive work on a flat roof may require the presence of a large number of workers in addition to supervisory staff, clients, etc. In these circumstances, the appropriate protection would be provided by perimeter barriers rather than giving everyone a safety harness. Installing permanent edge protection during the main construction process instead of at the end gives protection to both constructors and end users. When demolition work of a large building on a busy road is taken up, it is not possible to provide every passerby with PPE. One needs to secure the whole area and ensure all fallings or flying objects are arrested with suitable screens and nets. You might have seen the screens and the nets at that when the work is going on the busy stretch of the roads. Then very important factor is safety training. To train everybody concerned on safety procedures is of prime importance to ensure accident-free construction work. Distribution of safety instructions with the hope that everybody will read and abide by them is never going to work. Safety consciousness has to be built up through regular sessions on safety, mock drills and site inspections. These are the ways how we can make the people safety conscious. For example, workmen with long experience tend to follow the same unsafe practices they are used to and their juniors follow them. Safe working procedures depending on the needs of particular site has to be inculcated into the whole team's psyche. No exceptions to safety rules. Any senior person from the management ignoring the safety procedures can have a disastrous effect on the whole team, because the whole team will follow the senior. His negligence of safety rules on a single occasion can jeopardize the whole project and even result in loss of lives. For example, often due to demurrage clause applicable for project not completed in time, means there is a demurrage clause for the project which are not being completed in time. What the seniors do? Senior management often pressurize the site in charge, and he in turn pressurize the workers to neglect the safety rules that are to be followed strictly. This can lead to major accidents including loss of lives and also a case for criminal prosecution against the person. So, that should not be done. So, in this discussion I covered first the accident causation theories, what are different theories, then the techniques for accident prevention, how we can prevent the accidents. So, thank you for listening.